Dude, I've been just grinding for like the past couple years. Honestly, the past couple years. And I honestly think the tax that I have to pay is just so fucking big that I just gotta work so fucking hard to make it happen. And I don't say this in a pessimistic way. I don't say this to be like I deserve to suffer. You know what I mean? I mean this in a way that I had an easy life. Like my entire life, we had money. My dad, very successful businessman, and basically gave us everything we want. And I'm very blessed and I'm privileged in the sense that like my dad provided for us and we never had any issues financially. In fact, this office right here is paid for by my dad. And it's a long story as to like why he paid for it. Um, I don't want to get into that, but he did pay for this office. This is not being paid for by me. Um, which is why I'm extremely grateful. Which is why I say that the tax that I have to pay is so fucking big because I've had it fucking easy. My entire life I've had it easy, bro. And a lot of my friends, a lot of my people that I know or surround myself with, a lot of them weren't privileged and weren't able to, live good lives like financially, like they're, you know what I mean? And a lot of the nice things that I got as a kid, like I had friends that weren't able to get those same nice things, and I was, you know what I mean? Like if I wanted to buy clothes as a teenager, I'd just go to my dad and ask for money. Then I'd go to the mall and buy the clothes, and like there'd be no questions. Like I'd get whatever I want. Um, but that's to say that my entire life, I always knew that I could abuse that, but I never did. And I think that's one of my greatest strengths as a man. It's like I can recognize privilege, but I don't want to overdo it in the sense where it's like, for example, this is gonna sound so fucking bad, but I'm just gonna say, for example, like I could get a nice ass car right now. Um, sounds so like out of touch, bro, but I could get a nice ass car like a BMW, something really fucking nice or something really fucking fancy. And I could buy a bunch of clothes, buy a bunch of nice things and just fucking spoil myself. And basically like have my dad buy me all these things. But yeah, that's what it is, bro. Like I come from a background where my dad has money and I can get these nice things, but I choose not to. And I only really choose to get things out of necessity. But I still have an easy life. Like I still have a car that was given to me. I didn't pay for. I still have a phone that was paid for. Um, I still have, you know, a lot of things that, especially growing up, that were given to me are things that like just life was easy, bro. And because of that, I think my biggest challenge in life is making it happen and like chasing my dreams and paying that tax of like, okay, like I've had an easy life and my life was very easy. Like I had no issues, no worries, no nothing. But because I had an easy life, to pay for that, I now have to pay with my time and my effort and my discipline and my willpower. And yeah, and sometimes it's rough, bro. I won't lie. Like some of it is because of me. Like I've decided to switch, from going to like marketing and sales to like because I was running an agency slash doing sales for like 2 years, and then I switched to e-commerce, And I think now if I stuck with sales, I maybe would have been making more money now. But that wasn't the goal. And I knew while I was a sales rep, like I was an appointment setter and closer for a very short period of time, that that wasn't what I wanted to do. And I knew it was a good skill to have. That wasn't what I wanted to do. And I knew e-commerce was a way better of a business model for me, at least, and like what I enjoy and the way I want to live my life, as opposed to like taking calls all day. However, there's a grind period where you are working fucking crazy hours and working all the time to make things happen. And you can't escape that. And I think for me right now, I'm in that period of like every single day, it's, you know, wake up, gym, work, or wake up, work, gym, and that's it. Every single day. And I think a lot of people on the outside looking in would call that fucking crazy, call it stupid, call it like, dude, just live your life. I hear that from my parents all the time. Like, like they'll tell me like, yo, why don't you hang out with your friends and stuff? Or why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? And sometimes it's like, damn, bro, like, damn, like that's all I could say. And like, and look, it's not that I don't want to do those things, but I just know that the sacrifice and the purpose of my purpose is way bigger than hanging out with people. And I know I could make friends and do things later on and be more socially active later on. But right now, it's just like laser focus on the thing and like what I want to do. Because like, bro, like if I look back in 10 years, will I regret not spending my time a little bit better socially? Like maybe would I say like, hey, I could have gone to like more events, maybe socialize a little bit more for sure. And I know that now. But on the flip side, would I regret not working more or not socializing as much? Like which one would I regret more at 30 years old? It's like me versus like anybody else. Me versus somebody who has given up on what they want to do and is coping with life and now is having a midlife crisis and now doesn't know what he wants to do or et cetera, et cetera. Like who would be in a better position? Is that guy's friend? Is his friends and family and all of them, are they gonna fucking help him get out of that situation? No. He'll be 30 years old, fucking had a lot of fun in his 20s, and is maybe married at this point, and now has all this responsibility, and is now having a moment of realization like, fuck, like I should have worked when I was 20, 21, 22. Maybe I should have taken my goals more seriously. So it's like, that's what I always like to think about, bro. And Hormozy says this, like a lot more people regret living it up in their 20s. And it's so true. And I don't think that I would ever regret working right now. It's like, bro, like I work in this office building and I see people like walk in here fucking with a McDonald's cheeseburger on their desk and like a rush out at like 4:50 something, right before 5 p.m. to go home. And you could kind of see the lack of purpose in what these people are doing. Not to judge, because like if this is what they want to do, then sure. But like you could kind of see it from the outside, like the lack of purpose in some of these people and like what they're doing. And so I think for me at 30 fucking years old, I would regret living it up and having as much fun as I can instead of being a bit more boring and doing the boring stuff. And yeah, because if you really think about it realistically, like, are you really gonna start when you're 30? You're really gonna start then, or are you really gonna start when you're 25? Like you're gonna that's gonna be your starting point. And again, like bro, you can start at those ages. I'm not saying that that's not possible, but like, are you really gonna start at 25, 30, or 28, or whatever number, you know what I mean? Like you're gonna start then. And like at that point, it's not that it's not too late. It's like you have a lot more pressure and a lot more like external influences telling you what to do. Especially at 30. If you're 30, it's like at that point you need to have already been married and or should be getting married and start to plan out your family, bro. That's how I see it. And I know that's how most people see it. So it's like, bro, like I know I'm paying this tax of like working hard and like paying with my time and sacrificing my social life, sacrificing relationships, sacrificing everything. But I don't regret it, bro. Don't regret it. And I know one day all of this is gonna pay off, bro. And like you could kind of see the vibe of this room. Like it's kind of fucking just I mean, I have a couch and TV, which is really nice. That's like a luxury. But I swear to God, like I maybe sat total time on this couch, maybe 15 minutes. And everything else has just been on this chair, maybe hunched over a little bit, or maybe laid back and typing like this. And then maybe like making a sandwich in this fridge. And that's it. Every single fucking day. And yeah, bro. Like that's just been my life. And like I like to think about I like to think and tell myself that like there's no fucking way that you can put in so much effort and so much work and not have it pay off. And I'm not saying it'll be quick. I'm not saying it's gonna be within the next couple months or few years, whatever it might be, depending on where you're at in your journey. But like I always like to remind myself that like hard work will always fucking pay off. Like it'll always pay off, bro. And like there's no way you can put in maximum effort, like work harder than everybody else and still lose. There's no fucking way, bro. Just doesn't happen. So like, I like to think about that and be like, yeah, that is true. So yeah, bro. Um, that's that. I know I yapped for a bit, but I don't know. I just want to talk about things like as I go through them. Right now is just a period of like grinding and being alone and just putting in the work and like sacrificing everything. And yeah. So this is what it takes, man. This is what it takes. And if you want to be great, you need to do things that other people aren't doing. And nobody else would do this or put an effort into anything the way that I put effort into what I do. So yeah, that's that. Anyways, see you guys later.